Hi everybody, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. Now about 4 or so weeks ago, I made a video about how to absolutely smash Mists of Pandaria world bosses once you've reached top level in Legion, which is going to be level 110. Now the 4 world bosses that I chose were the world bosses that drop the mount, so you can add these to your mount farming rotations. I personally use the Havoc, that's the DPS spec, Demon Hunter, and each fight took, I'd say, approximately a minute. They got absolutely annihilated. So what I decided to do this month was up the ante a little bit, and I switched to the Vengeance spec of Demon Hunter, which is the tanking spec, and I said to myself, can I solo Warlords of Draenor world bosses? Now I've got to get a disclaimer out here. The disclaimer is, I'm not a tank. I've never tanked. The limit of my experience with tanking is doing some heroic dungeons on my blood DK in Mists of Pandaria. That is literally it. I don't have the feel for a tank, I don't feel comfortable tanking, or any of that business. Now, before you say to yourself, hey, he's coming up with the excuses, he'll do 1 or 2, and then he'll fail at the 3rd and go, well, I'm not a tank. No. On the contrary. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because fighting these Warlords of Draenor world bosses solo actually helped me tank. Because I think this is probably better than a proving ground. You're getting attacked back. You're taking heavy damage in some cases. You're dealing with multiple adds, which are again attacking you, and also magical abilities too, or interruptible abilities. So I found that this really helped me get a feel for the Vengeance tank. I started to understand what I should be casting in what instances. Should I use my Immolation or AoE because we've got some adds in, so it'll hit all of them and burn them down? Should I pop my spikes, get some damage reduction going because I know some heavy pommeling's going to be coming in, and all that kind of stuff. It was a very good teacher indeed. So I decided to start with Drov, as we can see, and this guy wasn't difficult at all. In actual fact, the only thing which kept me here was the length of time for the fight. It took about 8.5 minutes or something along those lines to defeat him, but I was never ever in trouble. So cruising through that, and going back to what I mentioned earlier about the 4 world bosses in Mists of Pandaria that dropped mounts, I said to myself, what about Rukmar over in Spires of Iraq? Can I solo this boss, world boss? And can this also be added to my mount farming rotations each week? Now the good news is, because this mount is so rare, you might get a few people trying to camp it at the same time, so you might get some help. But if you do turn up here and there's nobody there and this is your kill to go alone, boom, I actually managed to do this. And this fight was fantastic. It really kept me tested at all times. Yes, I had some heavy damage coming in at some intervals, and there were a couple of twitchy bum moments where I thought I actually might lose it. But one of the top tier talents that the Vengeance Demon Hunter gets is the ability that if you die, or if you take fatal damage, then you'll immediately go back up to 30% health, plus go into Metamorphosis as well, which is a damage reduction on top of that and increases your health pool. But that didn't even pop. So I didn't even get into a situation where I took fatal damage. It was a clean first time kill. And I emphasize first time, not to boast, but again, to stress that I am not a tank. And if I'm not a tank, and I would class myself probably as an intermediate player, not top level, and I'm not a Raspberry Ripple either. I'm probably an intermediate player. So if you want to toy with your tank specs or Vengeance Demon Hunters, if you want to challenge with your Vengeance specs to get you going, then this is probably one of the best ways to do it. And my item level was 852. So we're talking opening mythic dungeon level of gear. Not raid gear, mythic dungeon level of gear. So very obtainable within 2 or 3 weeks if you're hardcore, 4, 5, 6 weeks if you're taking it a little bit easier once you reach top level in Legion. So get out there, and before you ask, no, the fucking mount didn't drop, damn me. But get out there, test it. This is an absolutely perfect way to do it. If you're a little bit shy about maybe going into some dungeons and having some people call you out because they're fucking bastards, go out, do some world bosses, do something that might hit you hard solo and get some proper practice that way. So Warlords of Draenor world bosses, piece of piss. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up. And also subscribe to my channel. Follow me on social media and Twitch for live streaming. Links there in the description down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care, everybody. Bye-bye.